Yeah.
Okay, I think we are live. Let me just look at my profile to make sure we are on there and live. All right, let me refresh. There we are. Cheers, Char.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I
Okay,
really like this. The orange cola. I really
yeah.
like it. Apple's
Do
my
you?
favorite, then root beer.
So I have to say that the one and only time I drank the orange cola was at in Dallas for an LCD event when it first launched, and I was pregnant, but I didn't know I was pregnant, and so I was like had food aversions that I didn't know I was having, and so I have not drank that one since. So I'm gonna have to
Oh,
try it
wow.
again.
It's better over ice, this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
But,
Awesome. Well,
well,
welcome
hey,
everyone. Thanks for tuning into the live. Thank you, Char, for joining me. You guys, I asked Char if she would be willing to do an interview with me. Because she has an incredible story. I got to meet her in person. She came to my house in December for a virtual event that Pruvit was having, and she shared her story with me here. And since then, she has just continued to, her business is exploding. Her transformation continues she just keeps continuing to transform. Like every month, it's like something new, another milestone hit, and it's just really, really cool to see. But she has a story that I think can resonate with a lot of people because it is one of hope. And there was a point in her life where like Char didn't really have a lot of hope. And she was in a wheelchair, and she was you were in like an assisted living home, right, Char?
for 3 years.
Yeah. So she has been through some things. So I'm going to let her kind of share her story, and then Char, I'll just like kind of ask you questions as we go, and share as little or as much of it as you want,
Okay.
so that people can kind of understand like where you came from. And then I would love for people to understand, like, because I think that you started your weight loss journey before you actually found ketones, right?
Yes.
But I want people to hear like where you were, like maybe what some of your first impressions of ketones were, and where you were prior to ketones, and then where you are now since drinking ketones.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool.
So, hello, everybody. I'm Char, if you don't know me. If you do. So, back in 1997, I was the administrator of 3 adult foster care homes. I had 36 MRDD population patients. My life was full. I had been married for 10 years, and my husband came to me and said, "Hey, honey, I want a family of our own, you know?" And to me, I'm like, wait a minute, we got 36 kids, you know? But he wanted a family of his own. So we tried and tried, and we could not get pregnant. So we started the adoption process, and that went well. We passed with flying colors. We found a baby. The baby had a lot of medical problems and could not be released from the hospital yet. And I found out I was pregnant. And by this time, because of health insurance, we all want health insurance when we're going to give birth because it's expensive. So I was working as a staffing coordinator and dual hospital administrator. And I was walking by a room, and 2 nurses yelled out, "Char, come help us." And, firefighters, police, Good Samaritans, nurses, doctors, they run without thinking. And I ran into the room, not thinking about my 8-month-old unborn baby. And the 2 nurses lost control of the stroke patient, and he fell back on top of me, breaking my back in several places and crushing my unborn son. And that is when my mind and my emotions and my spirit fractured. My first surgery was to take my son. And it was not, for the next 18 years, food was my idol. Food. I had 7 back surgeries, 3 years in a nursing home. I was never supposed to get out of the nursing home. A very good friend took me in. So my husband divorced me while I was in the nursing home. And so I had abandonment issues. I never smiled. Now, I always smile now, but I never smiled. I had no joy. And it's stemmed from unforgiveness. And I loathed myself, loathed. I could not forgive myself for not protecting my son. So the guilt and grief compounded with that and the abandonment issues, I just started eating. I was always eating. And people felt so bad for me, they enabled me. They felt so horrid, like, what can we do to help her? And then I would be manipulative, like most food addicts are. I'd be manipulative and I would say, oh, bring me a bucket of chicken. Oh, bring me, and then I'd eat it in one setting. Fast forward, 2015, I finally dealt with the grief and the gluttony. I actually I was at church and I was at the altar and I said, okay, God, I've dealt with, I'll never walk again. I'm okay with that. I said, but I'm killing myself. I'm a type 2 diabetic. My A1C was 12.3. I was always in intensive care, renal failure, you name it, congestive heart failure. It was bad. And I said, I'm killing myself. I had a catheter. I said, just heal me the grief. So maybe I'll stop eating, And you've heard people talk about having visions or having an aha moment or an epiphany. Well, that's what happened to me. I saw a baby boy nestled in God's right palm of his hand. And he said, Mom, forgive yourself. I forgive you. That's all it took. And I lay there. Well, I was in my power wheelchair. I was sitting there just weeping, gut wrenching, healing weeps. I even forgave my husband because I realized that he was hurting too. And all that abandonment was replaced with empathy. So my weight loss journey began, but I didn't tell anybody. The gluttony left. I have not had one gluttonous moment since that epiphany, October 23rd, 2015. So we're going to fast forward. I joined Weight Watchers. In my whole 18 years, I was on Richard Simmons. I did everything. I did Jenny
oldies,
Craig.
baby. Sweating to the oldies.
Oh, yeah. I did it all. And but I could not, because of the mindset, and because of my emotions, and I couldn't connect them.
Yeah.
Nothing I did or tried to do worked. So about 8 months in, I was 100 pounds down. And my physical therapist saw my leg moving. They rushed me to Metro Hospital here in Cleveland, did an MRI. And my spinal cord doctor said, Char, don't get your hopes up. There's no change in your MRI. You're still not going to walk. The only reason they think your leg is moving is because you've lost a lot of pressure off your spinal cord. I wasn't going to take no for an answer. I knew I had been healed emotionally and mentally, and I fought, and I started working hard. And about a month later, I took my first step, and by 2018, I was about 130 pounds down, and I did my first 5K. And my doctor had me written up in medical journals. I've been on Everyday Miracles podcast and on YouTube. I love telling this story, not because I want to boast. I love telling it because if it'll inspire one person. I was on oxygen, 4 liters, 24 hours a day for over 10 years. And because I first dealt with the mindset and the emotions, and then I educated myself on food, I started losing weight. But then I hit a plateau. COVID hit. I'm at 140 pounds loss for 2 years. I developed a hernia. I developed some medical issues. I'm eating pureed food. So fast forward to July 2021. I go to the doctor and I said, I can't handle all this throwing up anymore. I couldn't keep anything down, Melissa.
Yeah, I
No
remember you
solitude.
saying that. And that
And
quality of life, I mean, you worked so hard to give yourself a better quality of life, and then to have, health issues that are reversing your quality of life and taking you back to a place that um is not pleasant. I mean,
no,
you're a fighter, so I don't doubt that, you one way or another you would find.
no, so I went to the doctor and I said, and I'm taking all these medications. Mary, my roommate, can tell
Mhm.
you, I was throwing up 3 to 5 times a day.
Yeah.
So he said, Char, I want you to, he's a weight management doctor, the one I went to.
Yeah.
And he's also functional medicine and children's diseases. He's amazing. He says, I really want you to go on keto. And I go, keto? I go, I'm not going to eat a pound of bacon. He goes, no, it's not the same. It's not. He goes, research it. So I did. And me being in the medical field my whole life, and then what I didn't tell you, I went back to Bible college and I'm a licensed minister now.
Yay.
You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I
So
kind
you
I knew you were, very strong, like you had a very strong faith, but I didn't
can,
know that you were
you can't get out of a wheelchair and then get off of oxygen and then your diabetes get reversed without
believing
you
in a
can't.
higher power. No,
And
absolutely.
they also taught me how to, counsel other people.
Yeah.
That's my degree. So anyway, so I thought, okay, I'm all in. Well, at this point, Mary, my roommate, her food eating was out of control and not doing well. And so I approached her and I said, look, this is what my doctor wants to do. He wants me to go on keto and he wants me to research ketones.
Hmm.
So I ordered some off of Amazon and I read the ingredients and I went, I'm not putting that in my body, and I'm like, I abused this body for 18 years. I am not putting anything unnatural in it. And then I'm on TikTok enjoying some animal videos when this crazy girl jumps on the screen with purple hair.
Hmm.
I absolutely fell in love with her because she was genuine.
Yeah. Nicole's the
And
best.
yeah, Nicole, and she's sitting there and, I love her personality. She
Hmm.
just draws you out, and draws you in. So she's talking about these ketones that are naturally created by doctors. So I went and started to research them. And I mean, I dug in.
So the ones you bought on Amazon the first time were like a different brand, like they weren't.
Different brand, and they're full of chemicals and stuff you do not want to put in your body. I won't say
Yeah.
the name, but it's cancer causing agents,
Mm.
because at that time when these things were created, there was no scientists working or doctors working to create a bioidentical ketone that would work in our own system and be water soluble to
Yeah.
give us the benefits. So anyway, I threw them out. And so I contacted Nicole Calvin and I said, okay, I am still skeptical, but you've had a huge transformation. Your story of your brain injury and your cognitive memory coming back and how things have turned around for you, I've got to do something. And the one word that I was intrigued with was better digestion.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So we got the 10-day variety pack challenge. And by the third day, Mary says to me, Char, you haven't thrown up in 3 days. I went, you're right, I haven't. They taste amazing. And by the 10th day, my 140-pound weight loss plateau, I lost 11 pounds in 10 days.
Holy smell. Wow.
Mhm. I was all in at that
You
point.
did plateau
Mary,
for how long? 2 years?
a little over 2 years.
Wow.
And then Mary, she lost 9 her first
Wow.
10-day challenge.
Wow.
And so then we started researching more about, I already knew about intermittent fasting, but I really dug in. And I started doing the reboots and the 24-hour fast and really implementing every possible things. So now I am 203 pounds down now.
Yay.
because I did the reboot and I lost another 3 pounds.
Yay. That's
So,
incredible. So what would you say, obviously you were a skeptic, but
yeah.
something drew you in. And I think, that's God. That's God too. Like he will guide us exactly where I remember when I was guided here and I was like, you gotta be kidding. You want me to do what? You want And I very clearly saw like my future with this company and the success that we were going to have. Like it was shown to me. And I even told my best friend about it. And I was like, Christy, I'm supposed to sell white powder on the internet. Like, this is crazy to me. But the thing is, like, getting to see the ripple effect of what that has created, like, God knew what he was doing all along. Because I'm not taking credit for this, but to understand like a ripple of what can happen when you're guided somewhere and you listen and you say yes, it opens the door for other people to be able to say yes to and to
May I
find.
say something with
Yeah,
that ripple effect?
yeah,
What I didn't share with my testimony is that when I went back to Bible college, I started a life group through my church called the Daniel Plan. The Daniel Plan is like worldwide.
yeah.
It's
My
it's
sister-in-law
based
has
on,
seen it. Mm-hmm.
okay, faith, food, focus, fitness, and friends, our
Yeah,
community. So had huge successes. And I even went to Saddleback Church in California and gave my testimony because my Daniel Plan was different. We had a clothing swap for when people were losing weight, and the ones that uh, were just coming in, they would get the bigger clothes, and then people losing weight would get the other people's smaller clothes. We
yeah,
had a food co-op. I had hairstylists come in and give complete makeovers.
yeah.
And so, with that being said, a lot of people that are drinking the ketones with me right now are my Daniel Plan people,
Aw, that's awesome.
and they they watched for a while. They watched Mary go from 350 pounds
Mm-hmm.
down to she's down 81 pounds as of Monday.
Wow.
And but what got me was until I came to your house, yes, I was a promoter, but really I got the promoter pack because it was a little, like 40% off, and I was adding the money and the ketones
Yeah, even
together.
if you were just gonna drink them all, it was worth it.
Exactly. Yes. But it wasn't until I came to your house that I saw the business model and I just had another aha moment. My whole purpose, my whole life is helping other people. That's why I had the Daniel Plan for 3 years. And I thought, wait a minute, I have to share this. Everybody that's heard my testimony, every church, every infant loss group I've been to, I need to share all this. Hi.
Say hi to Char. He coaches softball, so he's heading out.
Okay.
Wait, Dave, you gotta just get that.
Hey. So anyway, that's what happened. I came to your house, and then I left your house, and I looked at Mary, and I said, "That's it. That's it." And I made MVP the very next month.
Yeah. Well, that's because this is something bigger than us, and we are here to serve people who are ready, right? Like who are ready to and open-minded. Because when I first heard about ketones, I thought I put them in the same category as the other companies in our industry, like the one company in particular that has like the wraps that like it's basically plastic wrap. And I was like, there's just no science to that. And I was lumping ketones and Pruvit into that same into the same like category. And people were calling it this magical unicorn juice. And I was like, see, they can't call it the real thing because something's wrong with it. Like I was like, I didn't trust it. And I was very skeptical for a long time. And then all of a sudden, the right time, the right person, it had to be when I was ready and the right time. And when, God knows the exact right times for everything in our life.
Open mind. And
Yeah.
you had to have an open mind.
Yeah. And once I did, like, it was so cool. And I mean, I had a great experience when I first started ketones. I lost 5 pounds, but I was a brand new mom. And, I've never, other than the first 3 months that the twins were born, I've never experienced motherhood without them. And I do not know how other moms are surviving without like the energy and the mental clarity. Because I remember in those first 3 months just really being in a fog all of the time.
Yep.
And so what they've done for my brain, is so incredible. But I
I've been
think,
talking to a new mom, and
yeah,
she's sleep deprived. She's exhausted.
yeah.
So
I have a lot. That's my favorite person to help is new moms. And I love that, we all serve a different person, but, we're all, and I think that's the coolest part. Like, yes, everyone can drink ketones and benefit from them, but the people that you're going to help, Char, are very different than the people that I'm going to help. But because we have this whole collective team, we get to serve so many people, and it's really, really cool to see.
it's mind blowing, but it's also like you feel so privileged.
Yeah. And you just had a conversation with a customer of yours right before we got on this call. And obviously, we don't want to make a medical claim, but
No.
she was very excited that she just got back from her doctor to share some really good news with you. And that's what we get to do. Like, we really do get to help people become better. And so now you're 203 pounds down, right? And what are you most excited for, like, for your future? Like, what's something that's just like really lighting you on fire right now?
Well, when we went to Pruvit in Kentucky, because this community is like none other I've ever experienced. And I love my church, don't get me wrong. I love my church. But the personal growth and development that you attain, it's not like one of these companies that hoorah, rah, rah type thing and get you all hyped up. No, you're snot nose crying. You're changing and transforming as you are getting personal growth. They have all these guest speakers from Jay Shetty, on an interview to what's his name?
Ed
He's
Milet.
Ed Milet, but no, the other guy.
Joseph McClendon.
That one I know, but no, it was the one before during Epic. He was he's on Family Feud.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, yes. Okay. So you have all these people come on and sharing their testimonies and their stories. But then you have a neuropsychologist come and do practical things, have you stand up and just say a little mantra that will help you transform your mind. So Pruvit isn't just about the ketones. They want people better and everything. That's what I love about them.
Yeah, I think Brian says it best because, and I very, very much agree with the sentiment. It's like, I don't care if someone joins our team and then leaves. If they join our team and have found, uncovered something within them or became a better version of themselves that helped them excel at the next thing that they go do, like, that truly is what it's about. It's helping someone become better, regardless of, if they're here for a short time or a long time. Like, people come into our community, they experience our community, they participate in these events, and they transform, and it helps them in all aspects of their life, regardless if they're successful or if they stay with the company or if they go, do their own thing in their own careers doing something else. It's still something that can be transformed, like taken out.
I don't see myself ever leaving.
Yeah.
Ever. No, I know for a fact I am exactly where I'm supposed to be.
That's awesome. And you haven't even been to a live event yet.
Pardon?
You haven't even been to a live event yet.
No. But it's not just the events. It's the community that I'm building. I've got people from New Mexico, Florida, New York, who their lives are changing.
Yeah.
Emotionally, physically. I was in an Airbnb with a group of ladies in Kentucky for the More event. They were interviewing me. They were putting the phone in my face and saying, all right, Char, teach us. Tell us, what do you say to somebody who's skeptical and doesn't like ketones or doesn't know about ketones? So I did. I said, have you ever heard of sauerkraut, kimchi, the probiotics that are really good in them? Um, how about apple cider vinegar? Have you ever done that where you drank the apple cider vinegar with a little turmeric? I go, did you know if you have children, your baby in your stomach was feeding off the mother's ketones? We were designed and born with ketones. But because we overeat, we overindulge, and there's food on every corner, our bodies can never get into a natural state where ketones are working for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, just like those probiotics and sauerkraut and everything else, these doctors and scientists have created the only patented fermented ketone that is bioidentical to our own. And these girls were like, I'm glad I recorded that, because it's true. All you have to do is educate people.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to vote, you're not going to go and just blindly go, you want to vote for the platforms. You want to be well educated. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. And I think, when I first started ketones, Ron and I ran out of them before our next order came, and we went to GNC to find a replacement. And when we say our ketones are bioidentical to the ones your body creates naturally, number one, it's hard to actually create them naturally for a lot of people, especially if you're insulin resistant. And so a lot of people don't
leptin insulin.
Yeah. So a lot of people never get to even experience what that feels like. But not all, most ketones don't actually have an effective dose of the actual properties that put your body into that therapeutic state of ketosis. And so we tried them. Trust me, we tried cheaper brands and we tried other ones when we ran out. And, I don't care what I personally, my twin sister went into the medical field. I went into business for a reason, because all of that medical stuff, I love you for loving it, and I am the exact opposite. I could care less about it. If it makes me feel good and you tell me that I'm going to be a better mom and a better wife, and I'm going to have more energy, and I'm going to be able to control my cravings better, and I'm going to lose fat, and I'm going to have all of the energy I need, and I'm going to be able to be productive and excel at what I do because of the mental clarity and focus, and I can make some money doing it, sign me up.
Sign me up. And that's what happened for me. I even went to the doctor on Monday. And that video I just created with me holding the skirt up?
Yes, I love that.
Well,
you guys go check out Char's Facebook when we're done here. In the comments when we're done, I'll actually tag her Facebook so you guys can go check her out and look at her story. But that video is awesome.
So I was at the doctor and I told the nurses, I go, okay, before Todd comes in, and I've known Todd since I was 415 pounds, and he's my spinal cord doctor and pain management. So I took the skirt. I had the epiphany of taking the skirt with me. So I had the skirt stretched out, and he knocked on the door and he goes, holy moly. He goes, I remember when you came in here with your power wheelchair and your oxygen. He says, my heart broke. He says, but now look at you. And when I told him what God's doing in my life and how I'm mentoring and coaching and loving on people that don't feel lovable anymore, and they're at their wits' end, and they want transformation, but they're grasping at straws and they don't know where to go. And all of a sudden, they find these wonderful world of ketones that make them feel better, that make them able to push themselves and propel themselves to better. It's amazing. I get emotional because I know what it feels like to be trapped and in a prison of fat, So.
What would you, this is going to be my last question, because I want to be respectful of your time, and we're almost at the 30-minute mark. What would you say to someone who feels like they're trapped and they've lost all hope? What would you say to someone?
If I was face to face with that person, I would say, take a look at my pictures. See where I came from. I am living, breathing proof that ketones work. Just the vitamins and the minerals and the extracts alone will get into your system. They will boost your energy to help you one more time take that dumbbell and lift it up in the air. One more time, take a chance to do a push-up. I couldn't do push-ups. I do them all the time now. But at 415 pounds, I couldn't do it. I know that you have been through every program over and over and over. I'm asking you one more time to try something and give it a chance, because it will transform your thinking, better sleep, better digestion. It does amazing products. It's amazing product, but I'll tell you something else. You're not left alone. You're going to have a community of people that are going to support you. You don't have to go pay dues somewhere and then go home and be all by yourself. You're going to have a community that's going to be by your side every step of the way. Not to mention, on Fridays and other days, we have these live chats with the doctors that educate us on how to be better. And you don't have to pay for it. All you do is you buy the ketones and you get all these benefits. One more time. One more time.
And now I that sparked one more question in me, because obviously you did have weight loss before you tried ketones. You lost 140 pounds, 130. But what's been the difference? Like, as far as like, okay, yes, you showed that it was possible to also lose weight without them. But how did you feel? Like, what felt different in the process? You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
I do know. And I'm glad you asked that question, because I would love to close on this. I have a disease called lupus. It's systematic. It attacks my body all the time. I'm in remission right now because I really believe during the 130, 40 pound, I was always sick. Even though I was losing weight, because I had dealt with emotions, it was different. I was always sick. I never felt good. I had no energy. Even though I did my first 5K, it took me 3 hours to do it.
Yeah.
And now, the first 10 days, Mary and I had this energy. We were cleaning out closets. After that, it's like I leave the house and I'm still going at midnight if I want to be, or I'm not saying the way I want to say it.
I hear you. You're now, it's like, yes, you lost weight then, but you weren't feeling good. You still weren't feeling healthy. Now you're losing weight and you feel good while you're doing, you feel like you're a healthier version of yourself in the process. You have more energy. I get it. And because a lot of people have to say, well, you don't need ketone, and you're proof you don't need ketones to lose weight, but you did plateau.
Oh, I wish I would have had ketones back then. I'll tell you why. All these supplements I had to take, vitamin D, B12 shots, all these things I had to take. My doctor's taking me off of all of them because it's all in the ketones.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Well, Char, thank you so much for spending some time with me. Your story is just incredibly inspiring and I know you're going to continue to inspire others to become better. And I'm just grateful for you and so thankful that you took some time out today to talk to us. And guys, go check out her Facebook page, because it's incredible. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Melissa.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.